Johnson & Johnson jumping on the booster bandwagon. The company releasing data showing a booster of its single-dose vaccine gives a rapid and robust increase in immune response. Dr. Aditi Nurkar is a physician with Harvard Medical School and is here with us now. Dr. Nurkar, in its clinical trial, Johnson & Johnson saying a booster shot gave a 9-fold increase in spike-binding antibodies. Could you tell us what that means? I don't know what a spike-binding antibody is, and what else this trial shows us.
Sure, Allison. So this trial was a relatively small trial of less than 2,000 participants, and they had been given the first dose of Johnson & Johnson. 6 months later, they were given a second dose, and antibodies were measured for the first dose and the second dose. So compared to baseline, there was a 9-fold increase in the antibodies. This is a different kind of antibody than the antibodies that are produced with the other vaccines. So the other thing that is interesting is that the first dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine provides about 72% protection against symptomatic illness. And so we're thinking in the coming weeks and perhaps even a month or so, we will get some announcement by the Biden administration to suggest boosters for the 14 million Americans who've been given this first dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
So J&J says it's working with the FDA to use the shot as a booster. Pfizer and Moderna should have booster shots available in a matter of weeks. Should people who got the Johnson & Johnson shot be concerned here about a delay? When could we likely see a booster from J&J?
This is not to be of any concern for those who have gotten the first dose of Johnson & Johnson, the 14 million Americans. You know, we have some good real world data from South Africa, which showed in a study of 500,000 frontline healthcare workers, 92% protection against death and 72% protection against hospitalizations. And this is in the real world with the Delta variant with 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson. So this should all be very reassuring for those who've gotten the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
We've already seen people who've gotten the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine going back for another dose or going and getting a dose of a different vaccine. What is your advice for people who see this study and they want to go out right now and get a second dose before it's approved?
I know that is the compulsion and the urge to do that, but it's important to first wait. You know, we do have some good data coming out of the UK, other parts of Europe to show that this mixing and matching strategy may be helpful. They've used AstraZeneca, which is a similar vaccine to Johnson & Johnson, with Pfizer. We do need a lot more data. I would say that if you are immunocompromised or elderly, speak with your personal physician and create a plan for you. Otherwise, it's safe to wait, and we will just see what the Biden administration, in conjunction with the CDC and FDA, decide about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
My colleague Erica Edwards is reporting on a slightly different topic that doctors are seeing a surge in pregnant women who are critically ill with COVID. More than 100,000 pregnant women have gotten sick since this pandemic started, tens of thousands hospitalized. We're seeing more than 100 deaths, 131 there. That's according to the CDC. But just 23% of pregnant women are vaccinated. Dr. Nurkar, what's your advice to pregnant women who are concerned, unsure about the vaccine, just might not know what they should be doing right now?
You know, Allison, you said it. It's very, very concerning, this trend that we're seeing. Pregnant women are more likely to contract the illness. And when they do get sick, they're more likely to be sicker, need hospital admission, ICU, supplemental oxygen, and intubation. So ACOG, the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, in conjunction with the CDC, just recently put out an announcement really encouraging pregnant women to get vaccinated. We know that vaccines are safe in pregnancy. And we know that when we have healthy mothers, we can have healthy babies. So it's incredibly critical, given all of this data, to really push for pregnant women to get vaccinated now more than ever in the face of the Delta variant.
All right, Dr. Nurkar, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Allison.